What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Tech Talk with Check This Gadget. I think we're on our 6th episode, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. But either way it goes, welcome back. Today, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the tech that I use. Now, I definitely have more gadgets than your average person. I probably don't have as much as the bigger YouTubers, the bigger tech YouTubers, because they get a lot of stuff and they have a bigger budget to get a lot of stuff. But I definitely can hold my own, because for the average person, I definitely have a lot of stuff, and I just want to share some things I have. It's pretty much going to break down to two categories. We're going to have the category of stuff I pretty much use daily, or very often, and then the stuff I don't use that much, that's just been sitting kinda, but I just can't quite let it go just yet. So those are the two categories we're going to go. We're going to start off with all the stuff I use daily, and then I'll go back to the other stuff. I know in the past few videos I've just been talking to you guys, but we're going to have videos. You can see we having video today, and I want to show you the different products. And from the future going on, ideally, definitely it's going to be some videos. The next two episodes of Tech Talk will definitely be featuring video, because it's going to be regarding around stuff around CES. So definitely want to subscribe and tune in for those. Before we get into the video, I'd like to thank our sponsors, www.shopmobilegadgets.com, where you can find cheap accessories, quality, good accessories at a good price. Make sure you check them out when you get a chance. So, why not start the video off with phones? You pretty much use your phone every day. So let's get into the two phones that I use the most. I have an iPhone 6 and a Galaxy Note 4, Samsung Galaxy Note 4. And I've pretty much been using two phones probably for like a couple years now, at least a year and a half, couple years now. And I pretty much always have my main number, the number that my family has or that I give jobs and things like that, on my iPhone. And that's mainly because on Verizon, they don't charge visual voicemail on the iPhone. Whereas if I was to have on my Samsung or Windows Phone or anything else, they would charge me to use visual voicemail. And so that's why I keep my main contact number on my iPhone, mainly because I have the access to visual voicemail. I really just hate calling voicemail. Visual voicemail is the only way I check my voicemail, and even then some days I check it kind of late. So that's why I have to keep that's why I keep the iPhone around. Well, that's one of the reasons I keep the iPhone. I keep the iPhone around just because it's certain apps, kind of like with Android. It's certain apps on iOS and it's certain apps on Android phones that are not on the other ones, and that I just love. And I just like having two phones. The other reason I like having two phones, so I don't get bored. Like if I was just to have my iPhone by itself, after a while I would get bored. If I was just to have my Android phone by itself, after a while I would get bored. It'll probably take me a little longer to get bored, and especially with like the Note 4, I probably wouldn't get bored as much, because the last time I had a Note as my solely phone was back when I had the Note 2, and I cannot remember if I had a iPhone around that time or not. I probably did, or if I didn't have an iPhone, I had an iPod Touch or something, probably. But I probably either that or a Windows Phone. I probably had a different phone around that time too, but the reason I like to keep two phones, I always have two phones, is just so I don't get bored with the other operating system. If I had iOS strictly, I'd probably get bored. If I had Android strictly, I'd probably get bored. Like I said, if I just had the Note 4 strictly as a phone, I probably wouldn't get bored as fast compared to some other Android phones, just because it's more features, bigger screen. But that's why I do the two phone setup. So like I said earlier, I keep my main number on my iPhone, and then on the Note 4, I also use that phone a lot. That's pretty much my Craigslist phone. I do a lot of selling on Craigslist, and I respond to everything on there. Now, before I got the Note 4, I was using my Android phone. I was using was the HTC One M8, which was an excellent phone. I loved it. Best audio quality ever on that phone. Even with the headphone jack in, I haven't heard a phone that has the best audio quality coming out of the headphone like the M8. But anyway, that was the phone I was using, and then I was doing a lot of sales and a lot of texting on that phone, and I always had a problem with that keyboard, the HTC keyboard, and I just found myself getting cramped. I just didn't like the keyboard. I just kept making typos, and it was just taking up time where I should be able to respond to something quickly. It was doing typos that I just didn't like. And I knew the Note 4 was coming out. I knew the Note 4 was coming out, and I knew the Nexus 6 was coming out. And I said I definitely am going to upgrade to a bigger phone to have a bigger keyboard so I can text faster and be a little more productive with doing my Craigslist stuff. And basically the Note 4 came out first before the Nexus 6. I know the Nexus 6 was coming out, but what kind of pushed me towards the Note 4 was Best Buy was having a promo deal in which I was able to trade in an old Palm Pre. If you look at my unboxing on the Note 4, you'll hear this story. Basically, I had $200 credit, so you know I got a good deal to get the Note 4. And like I said, when I had my Note 2, I really enjoyed it. So the quality of the Note 4 was back. You know, I didn't really like the quality of the Note 3 as much. It felt a little cheap. This one feels way more solid, way better. I was just happy with the quality of it, so I went ahead and got the Note 4, and I cannot say I've been happier. I haven't did a review on this phone. I usually don't do reviews on phones. I do unboxing, but I usually don't do reviews because I don't do like all that benchmark stuff and all that junk. I just use the phone regular like I usually would, and you know, just see how it operates. But I might do a review on this phone, and because there's a few things I want to speak about. It's a great phone though, so I might do a review for, you know, just the people that just want to know how it acts regular and not really care about benchmarks and how the graphics work and things like that. So basically those are my two phones. When it comes to pictures, I take pictures on both of them. When I was out of town, I was taking pictures on the Note 4. Took some video on there, recent video that out of iPhone 6 unboxing, out of box unboxing. I actually shot that on the Note 4, so if you want to see how some video quality was inside, go ahead and check that video out. I shot that strictly on the Note 4, uploaded it straight from the Note 4. As far as my iPhone, I always use my iPhone for pictures. I have like over 1,000 pictures in there, mainly because I have a photo stream on, I think, but I take a lot of pictures on my iPhone. But that's mainly because a lot of the pictures that I take is like stuff I want at the mall, or if I'm at a store or something. I'll take a picture of a product just so I can remind myself that I want that product. And so I usually always have my iPhone in my front pocket just because it's smaller than the Note 4. So it's easier for me to take out than my Note 4 and take a quick picture with it versus my Note 4, which is just a little bit bigger. But while I was out of town, I was taking a lot of pictures with my Note 4. So I take pictures on both of them. I'm starting now to use the Note 4 to do my postings on Craigslist because the keyboard is there. I really love that, you know, you have the number row, the keys are big. I have no problem typing. I really appreciate that the number row is up there, so it's kind of easy, and the screen is big enough that, you know, it's easy to post on Craigslist, whereas on my M8 the screen is a little smaller. Like on my iPhone 6 the screen is just a little small, so I wouldn't want to post on Craigslist. I will wait to either do it on the tablet or wait to do it on the computer. But the Note 4, the screen is big enough where I can utilize it to go ahead and start posting. So now I take my pictures from the items that I want to sell on Craigslist. I now strictly take those pretty much on the Note 4 and post it directly from my phone. So that's pretty much what I use that for. I have my music on my Note 4. I use list all my music on my Note 4 mainly because it's just easier to put music on there, drag and drop, versus the iPhone with going through iTunes and junk. That's why I've never really used my iPhone as a music player. I just don't feel like dealing with iTunes all the time. I just prefer the drag and drop way with the Note 4. It's much easier. Let's see, what else do I do on my Note 4? Social media, pretty much. I sometimes look at Instagram on my iPhone, but I prefer to look at it on my Note 4. So as far as the multimedia aspect, definitely goes to the Note 4, but I use them both. And to throw another one in there, also, we have the Nokia Lumia Icon. This is the Windows phone. See, I never ever even took off the plastic. I supposed to be getting a screen protector and I just still haven't. And it these really don't bother me, so I just never really thought about taking it off just yet until I get a screen protector. But anyway, Windows Nokia Lumia Icon on Verizon. I'm still waiting for Verizon to update to 8.1. This is ridiculous. I think they came out like May. We're still waiting. Still haven't got the update, and it sucks because, you know, it really. I like Windows Phone. I like Windows Phone a lot. I was one of the early adapters. You can look back through my playlist and see I had a Windows Phone playlist back when I had the HD7 from like 3 years ago. So I was always a fan of Windows phones, and the fact that this phone, which is one of the best phones, pretty much in my opinion, the best Windows phone out there, even though You know, it's thick and has a thick profile. Quality wise, camera wise, software wise, it's the best phone in that regards. It's a flagship type phone, and the fact that it doesn't have the latest operating system of the 8.1, it just sucks that Verizon is like holding up as far as doing the firmware and releasing the update or whatever. So, but I love this phone. I'll always keep it as a backup. As long as I can help it, I don't want to sell it. I always love keeping a Windows phone on backup. Even when I had my iPhone or Android phone, I always liked having the Windows phone from the Samsung, what was it, the Samsung Focus, I think, on AT&T. I had the HTC 8X, and I had the HTC HD7. I had love that phone. And it was another HTC, the one with the all white back. I forgot what the name of that one was. And then this one. So that's a total of 5 Windows phones I've had. So love Windows. So you can see I do not discriminate. I use all 3 platforms, the iPhone, Windows, Android. I do not discriminate. I love them all for their own individual reasons, and I can tell you about any of the operating systems, or if you need some certain apps that you're looking for, I can tell you which app to get, because you know, I have to find different, like finance apps and things like that. Some are not on the Windows phone, it's on the Android phone, so I have to find different ones. So if you have any questions about that, apps and stuff like that, leave a comment below. I will definitely answer your question, because I can definitely tell you about all of those. So those are the phones I use on the daily. Now let's switch to the tablets. So what's not pictured here is the Samsung Galaxy Tab 8.4, and that's because I recently just sold it. That was a tab I was using daily, on a daily basis, but I didn't follow my budget when Black Friday hit, so I kind of messed up some of my money, and I had to sell something to pay some bills, and that was the first thing that someone wanted to buy. So I ended up recently just selling that. I do miss it, but I must say, even though I sold it, I still have like 5 other tablets. So you know, it's like, you know, I guess I shouldn't miss it as much, but I really like the Samsung tablets. I'll probably either rebuy that one off Craigslist, or I might go to the Galaxy Tab S, which is the one that's out right now. However, Samsung always releasing something, so I probably will try to wait till after CES to make sure they're not going to be releasing any more newer tablets, because they released that Tab S pretty much, what, like maybe 7 months or something, 7 months after they released the Tab Pro, and they act like the Tab Pro was, you know, the new top-notch deal, and then, you know, then they bring the Tab S, so it's like, you know, so you can get a good deal on all the Tab Pros now because the Tab S is out. So I want to make sure that Samsung's not going to release anything else, so I'll probably wait to buy another Samsung tablet. But I did love that tablet. I must say, on that tablet, I primarily really just used it for watching YouTube videos, and I did a couple web surfing, but primarily all I did was watch YouTube on there. And I can watch YouTube on any tablet. I just like that one because the screen, you know, Samsung always have a vibrant screen colors, and the speakers were really loud on there. It was just like the perfect size. But now we have these. So let's start off. I have the iPad Mini 2 here on the top here, and our iPad Retina, iPad Mini 2. And I don't use this as much as I did when I first got it. When I first got it, I used to always use that. But as I got more tablets and got my Android tablets, this one wasn't getting to use as much anymore. So I primarily really only use this for a few different apps, which is primarily these 2 apps. These are my 2 financial apps, which I use to budget out. And then I have this All Stuck Up app, which I use to do ideas and stuff like that. Now those 3 apps by themselves, these are some apps I've had for like 3 to 4 years now, and the developers really don't update them anymore. Like if you try to look this up, you can't find this exact app, so I'm not going to show you what it looks like because the app looks totally different. It's called Easy Balance now, but it doesn't look anything like this one. The reason I like that app is because basically it was kind of like set up like a little notepad of paper and just like straight line addition and subtraction kind of thing. And I just like it. It was just like very simple, easy setup, just very clean layout. Let me see. Let's see if I can show you. If I have information on all of them. I have information on all of them, but you can see this is like old. But this is what the style looked like. on that particular app, like, but you can't find this anymore because the developer updated, so it looks totally different. But I really just like this basic setup, so that's why I keep that app around, because I like the basic setup. I did update the app on my iPhone, but I just like that basic. You're not gonna get much more simpler than that when it comes to budgeting and just having just an easy, simple financial budget app on your tablet. So I use that. I use this budget board. I use Allstuckup every once in a while, but I pretty much use the iPad for this app, and then I use Invoice Robot. That's what I use to do all my photography invoices on. And that's pretty much all that I use. All these other apps, I don't even use them, honestly. Every once in a while I might check my mail on here, but I do a lot of checking my email on my computer. But every once in a while I might check my mail on here. But other than that, I really don't use my iPad that much, except for when I want to use this budget app to budget my finances for the week or 2 weeks or whatever. Other than that, it really doesn't get used. And then when I go out of town, I do take this tablet out of town with me to import my pictures. I like to import my pictures on here and view them on here as I'm out of town, just so I can have a view of my picture on a bigger screen. So I usually don't bring my laptop or anything, so I bring my tablet to view my pictures on there. And it kind of serves as a backup of the pictures, just in case anything was to go wrong with my SD card or anything like that. So that's honestly all I really use this for. I used to use Pinnacle Studio probably like a year and a half, probably a year and a half ago, but I really don't use that anymore, mainly because I maxed out of storage on here. This is a 64 gigabyte model, maxed out of storage on here. This is a 32 gigabyte, the bigger one, maxed out of storage on there. So that's all I pretty much use my iPad mini for, because I do a lot of stuff on my computer now. And then I have the bigger iPad. This is the iPad 3rd gen. See, it still has the old 30-pin connector. So this is the 30-pin, the 3rd gen. This was the one right after the iPad 2 that had the Retina screen, and I haven't seen a reason really to update since, because since I have the iPad mini, I didn't really, when I first got the iPad mini, I was using this heavily, so I really didn't see a need to update my bigger iPad. But I always like to keep it around, just have a bigger iPad, even though I was primarily using my iPad mini. And you can see that this is on this old this is on an old iOS version, because if you look closely, you'll see I have this original YouTube app. Let's see, I don't know. Let's see, here's top. This is the original YouTube app. You guys remember this? Original YouTube app. And this is the other YouTube app that I can't update. So you can see this is what the old style original app looks like. So this is actually iOS version 5.1, I believe. Yes, version 5.11, if you can see that there. And you know it is, because like I just clearly said, I have the original YouTube app. And I purposely left it like that for a reason. Like I said, I have the newer iPad, so I can always update the iOS versions on here. But I really like the iPad version of the YouTube app. It's my favorite version of the YouTube app, right behind the original Samsung Galaxy Tab, like 10.1, the original ones. Back when Samsung used to have on the YouTube app, when you go to it, it used to have an all black interface. And I think how they used to have it, the comments would be on the side, kind of like how they got the setup now, but it used to be all black. I had really used to love watching YouTube videos on the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1, the original ones. But then I sold those or whatever, and right behind my favorite YouTube app of being on that was the YouTube app on the iPad. So I've purposely not updated this iPad just so I can keep this YouTube app. I recently stopped. I used to switch between my 2 accounts, but I stopped doing that because Google, started doing that Google Plus thing, and now it's kind of murky. So I didn't want to. This is strictly going off the old version. Like when you type it in, they ask for your email and password. So I didn't want to mess up the YouTube app and not be able to sign in and get my subscription anymore, because then that just ruin the whole app for me. So now I just have my one account on this one, and then I have my other YouTube account on this one, and just go to it separately like that, so I don't mess that up. Also on here, that's pretty much the only thing I use this for now. I just started using this back. I only actually just brought this back out after I sold the Samsung Galaxy Tab to watch YouTube videos on. Before that, this was sitting on the shelf not getting any use for like months. This was just sitting in charge. I would just keep it on charge just because I need to use it. Every once in a while I would bust it out and do some web browsing on it. But I don't do anything on this tab but watch the YouTube. This is also maxed out in pictures and stuff, so I don't do anything else on here. You'll see I still have my 2 main financial apps and stuff that I use, but other than that, I don't do anything on here. But now I do watch YouTube on here. I set it up on my little dock on my desk, on a little charging dock, and I watch YouTube and let it charge. But other than that, that's all I use this tablet for. So those are my 2 tablets that I use mostly. Alright, so now we have the computers, and I mainly use 2 computers right now. Mainly, my primary computer right now is the Lenovo, the Windows computer. I use this every day, all the time. 100% use this all the time. I pretty much stay in the desktop view, and the only time I'm over in the Metro side is really when I'm checking my mail. I love the mail app on Windows computer. I hate the mail app over here. Well, the mail app over here is not bad. Let me take that back. I don't hate the mail app over here. It just used to mess up how it did my emails when I had multiple email accounts on there. But I think I like the newer one. But I love the Windows mail app on my Lenovo. This is the original Lenovo Yoga Book, 13.3 inch. Love this computer. I actually won this at the NAB Show convention earlier this year. You can see before I did a couple videos on a couple different high-end Windows laptop, and that was my first time like actually purchasing high-end Windows laptops. Before that, you should just have cheap Windows laptop, because I used to primarily use my MacBook Air and my other computer, my iMac. But and I used to always like to have a Windows computer on backup or whatever. And it wasn't until actually this year that I actually transitioned over to actually using a Windows computer as my personal computer main time, full time. So I had started off with that Asus that I did a review on like a few videos back early this year, around like April. And then when I won this in April, I waited for this to come. When this came, this has been my main computer ever since. Which made me, I like Metro. I think I got back into the Windows computer because of the Metro. The Microsoft Surface tablet got me back into it. And then, you know, I had computers with Metro, but the Metro UI, I just wasn't that much into those computers, I guess, because they wasn't high end. I guess the quality of the screen, like the screen over here was better than those screens on my old computer. So I just, in the specs wise, you know, my MacBook was superior. So I guess I just wasn't that much into them until I got this. Now my MacBook still beats it out. This is an i5. This is the mid 2011 version. Love this workhorse. Only problem I ever had with this is the motherboard did go out 2 months after warranty expired, and that was like a $300 replacement, which I did not enjoy nor appreciate. But other than that, I love the computer. This is mid 2011 model, i5, 1.6 gigahertz, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 128 storage. This one over here is an i3, 1.9 gigahertz, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 128 storage. The only problem I have on these computers, they're lightweight, and I love that portability of them. Just the 128 is killing me. I continuously maxes out. But on my Lenovo over here, see this Ultrabook. I love Ultrabooks. It does have an SD card, so I have a micro SD card, 64 gig in there to try to free up some space, but it's still killing me. But yeah, love these are my 2 computers I mainly use. I use this at home, and everything. And then I use this one at work. When I go to work, this is the one I take with me. And then when I go out of town, if I do take a computer, I usually take this one with me. I just love the MacBook Air. It's ultra. It's light, easy to be transported. I just love my MacBook Air. And I will say, I use a lot of tabs when I'm browsing the internet. And every once in a while when I'm on Windows computer, this could be because of the i3 processor or whatever, but like say I usually have like 20 plus tabs open sometimes, and sometimes maybe like a mail app or something like that, and the computer starts to slow down a little bit and I have to restart it to get it back going, which it doesn't take long to restart because they're both solid state drives. But I will say I rarely run into that problem with my MacBook. When I have a lot of tabs open, it just pretty much still runs pretty smooth. Every once in a while I do have to go ahead and restart that so it can clear out the memory from the cache, because it's been times that I've left it on so long that without restarting it, that it's taking like 12 gigabytes of memory cache or whatever, and when I restart I got 12 gigabytes free. So that just goes to show you how much I push my MacBook Air to the limits. These are my two computers I use on a mainly daily basis. I use the Magic Mouse with this one, and then I use this is the Logitech M310, which you probably can't see, but this is the M310. Love this mouse, love. It's not a Bluetooth. This one does have USB. Love this mouse. I pretty much use this one mainly because it's a Bluetooth mouse. The Magic Mouse is cool. It's a little flatter than I like. I like to have a little more fuller mouse in my hand, but it works well for that setup. So these are the two laptops I use. Definitely would like to probably get another Windows laptop that has more hard drive space, but I really love this Yoga Book, and I don't like the newer. I don't like the Yoga Book 3s. I just don't like it. It's too thin for me. And I don't want to get the Yoga Book 2 now because it's old. So I like this one. I was hoping they was gonna give me the Yoga Book 2 because that's what was out earlier this year. But I'm not complaining because I got this Yoga Book for free and I love it. So those are my two laptops that I use on the daily. Alright, so here are some other items that's not phone, tablet, computer, but I'll call it the other tech category of stuff that I use very often. This is remote controller to the Xbox 360. I use my 360 pretty much right now. I'm just playing this game. Before I got that game, I was pretty much only playing this game. And then I have two other games which I haven't opened yet, but which begin play. So these are probably the 4 games I want to be playing the most on my Xbox. And then once I connect my Kinect back up, I will go back to playing these 3 games, my Dance Centuries. That's what I'll play with my Kinect once I connect it back up eventually. Headphones wise, these are some Logitech UE. These are the 4000 models, $30. I think they're discontinued now, but love those. I love all Logitech headphones. They sound great. I have some other Logitech speakers that I really like. I just like Logitech speakers, headphones. They're really, really fantastic. And also their mouses, apparently. Got my Galaxy Gear Fit here. Watch. Love this watch. I don't think I ever made a video on it, because I didn't get it when it came out, but I got it for a deal, $65 used. And I love this watch. I had to wait. I always liked this stylish watch. I had to wait till I got a Samsung phone to use it. But I really love this watch. It just does what I wanted to do, which is tell me the time. Have a stopwatch on there. The timer is nice. And it gives me my notifications. That's all I really use it for. I don't use the media player. I don't use the exercise things really. Heart rate, I did use that every once in a while when I went to gym, but I haven't been going to gym like I supposed to. But when I go back to gym, I probably use the heart rate thing. Some people were saying it was inaccurate, but you know, all these devices are pretty much inaccurate to me to a certain extent, especially when it comes to the pedometer. If it's on your wrist, they're all going to be inaccurate to a certain extent. But love this. This is a Bluetooth speaker that I recently just opened, and I love it. It's Zemron. I think it's Zemron. ZemronSpeakers.com. You can get this at. It's the Z11 model. And I really love this speaker. I'm going to be doing a review on this soon. This will probably be the next video you see after Tech Talk. So make sure you check this out because this is a very good speaker. Look how small it is, but the quality of it is great. Zemron speakers. And then here's my camera, my Canon G15. This is what I would be filming my YouTube videos on, but as you can see, it is broke. If you haven't saw my other videos, you will know I dropped this on vacation on concrete. It took a pretty nice fall, pretty much like, I'm sure, a good 3.5 feet fall to concrete. And yeah, it's dead now. It was coming on. It would never shut all the way down because these lens caps don't shut all the way down from the drop. But it was powering on. Now this crack, this was a different crack. This is a crack when my mom dropped it. But that's why you need to have tempered glass. The tempered glass saved it, because if I was to peel this up, the back screen it broke it all. Thank you to the tempered glass. But when I powered on, oh hey, it is working. I promise you. This was not working at first. It was working. It was doing this at first, and then I went to go try to power up to do a YouTube video, and it was not working. It was not powering on for me. But as you can see, it's working right now, so it will let me record. Only thing is, when I try to close it, it gives me this error, a lens error. So, like I said, just a couple days ago, I think it was yesterday, a couple days ago, I was trying to power this on. It wouldn't power on at all. So I guess it just has these moments where after trying to power on so many times and not being able to shut down correctly, it just doesn't power on at all. And then I can see it powered on. So it's very bootleg right now. I can't zoom out because it won't focus, which is unfortunate because the aperture on here is amazing. You probably can't see this, but this is a 1.8 to 2.8. So, you know what I'm saying, excellent aperture. I'm just really hurt that my camera's broken. I was really hurt because I thought it wasn't powering on. And this was the first time I tried to power it on since it went power on a couple days ago, and I thought it was dead because like I said, it was powering on, and then it just wasn't doing anything, so I thought it was dead. I'm glad to see it power back on, but it is a little bootleg right now. They have the G16 model. I'm going to try to wait till the G17 model comes out, so that's what I'm going to try to do. If you're wondering what I'm filming with right now, I'm filming with my Canon 7D, which is actually can be one of the first items I speak about on the tech I don't use as much. Canon 7D, I really only use it when I do my photo booth stuff. But when I go out of town, I like to take this camera because my 7D is just too big, and then to get the different shots, I gotta have all my different lenses with me. So it's just easier to use that. But when it comes to paid jobs like my photo booth, or if I was getting paid to do a video or photograph someone, I would definitely bring out my Canon 7D. And that's what I'm using right now. So I was using this to shoot all my YouTube videos primarily, but now I'm probably going to be using the Canon 7D with my light setup. Probably notice my lighting's a little better than other videos. That's actually because I'm using one of my lights that I've had, just never had like a setup in the house where I could put it and all that good stuff. So that's the last of the stuff that I use on a daily basis. Now let's get to some of the stuff I don't use as much. So here are the other tablets that I own. Remember I said even if I sold my one tablet, I still have 5 left, so here are the other 3. We have the LG G-Pad 8.3. We have the Microsoft Surface 2. And we have the Nexus 7, the newer model. The newest, not the newer 7, the second gen, the 2013 model, whatever you want to call it. So I don't really use these tablets that much. The Nexus, I used to always use that tablet, and I still to this day actually use it some. I just don't use it as much as I used to. I used to use this tablet every day, primarily watch my YouTube videos on it and everything. It's just, it used to have some weird things that go on with it. Glitches, just not responding to touching. And like the processor, you know, compared to the tablets now, getting a little more outdated, but it's still a good tablet. It still works fine. I just got the latest Android operating system on there, Android Lollipop on there, so I like to keep that around. I like the 7-inch form factor still. That's like the best 7-inch form factor in my opinion. and I don't feel like, I know they're still making 7-inch tablets, but I feel like that one was one of the last few 7-inch tablets that's going to be a quality, high-powered tablet. I feel like the market is more so going to be around that 8-inch range and up. So that's where I feel like it's going. I know there'll always be 7-inch tablets around, but not as good as quality as the Nexus 7 in my opinion. My LG G-Pad, I got this as a deal through Verizon. I got a free for upgrading, and it was like on my More Everything plan, which is like an extra $10 or whatever. So that's pretty much why I got it. I really don't use it. I like the software on here. The software on here is cool. I like it. I just don't really use it that much. Like I said, I have this Android tablet. I have the Galaxy tablet, so I really wasn't using it too much. And I think this version, the Verizon version, the whites is just not as white like they supposed to be, and they really couldn't tell me why that was. Verizon, and this is like my third one that I got. I don't know if you can tell on screen, but it's just not, the whites are just not white like they're supposed to be, probably in like the Wi-Fi version. I don't know what it is with the LTE Verizon version. It just, the whites just wasn't as good, so they kind of turned me off from it. But the other thing is the speaker placement. The speakers are loud. It's just that the speakers are on the back and then they're on one side, so it's meant to be held like this ideally, but I usually watch my videos like this, so it makes for an awkward experience because all the speakers are on one side and then they're on the back, which is another thing I hate, because I like to usually, when I'm watching my tablets, watching videos, I usually land in a bed somehow looking at them, and the sound gets muffled. So that's a very frustrating thing with this tablet. And then my Microsoft Surface tablet, I used to love the original Surface. Love the original Surface. I just always hated the screen. Basically in the Surface 2, they updated that. They updated the screen, so it is for 1080 HD screen. Let me turn this on. I don't think I have to have a password. Yeah, so it is full 1080. Screen is beautiful, but I just don't use it. I just don't use it anymore. I guess probably because I use my laptop a lot for this stuff, but even still, I mean, I used to use the news app, look at it every once in a while, but I don't even do that anymore. I don't use anything on here. But this tablet, like my iPad, has just been sitting, and I actually was going to sell this, and I canceled at the last moment, I guess, because even though I don't use it, I like having it. The screen is so beautiful. I just kind of want to keep it as my tablet. Like if I ever have clients and they want to see some work, or I need to show them PowerPoint, or just show them pictures or something like that, this is a tablet I would bring with that to show them, just because it's nice and professional looking. You got a stand already on it. The screen looks excellent. You know, it's just, this is the tablet. If I wanted to make a presentation or something, this is the tablet I would bring. And then when I put my pictures on here, you know, I still got the USB 3.0, and I put my pictures on here, and I looked at my pictures, and they just look fantastic on the screen, so I just couldn't sell it. It's one of my gifts. One of my stuff I'm not using, but I couldn't part with it just yet. So, like earlier I said, I was putting all my pictures on my iPad mini. I might start maybe taking this out of town, and maybe instead putting the pictures on here, or maybe when I get home, put the pictures on here and just use this like as a digital photo album basically, just to give it some use. I'm not quite ready to let it go just yet. Ideally, probably when I get my new location, I would have it just automatically set up where I can go sit down and just press the news app and just read articles on here, and just primarily just use it for that and check a couple emails or something like that. That would be the ideal situation where it's always set up all the time, but right now it is just sitting. Alright, so go ahead and finish off the video with some other stuff that I do not use, but I have. I want to start off with the snowball microphone. Anytime I do any voiceovers, for the most part, it was done on this. Some of them were done on my Samsung Note 4, but I try to use this if possible. I got this old job on that I've never opened yet, but I always know I would need a Bluetooth speakerphone just in case I ever got back into wanting to shoot. If I ever did like a music video or needed to do something where I need a speaker on set or something. And red's my favorite color. I love this little dimple style, and it looks way better than, I like this style better than the newer models they came out with. So I haven't opened it yet, but I always know I would need it, and this is like ultra portable, so I always keep that around. I got this camera here, the Samsung W300 model. I got this for $30 at Target. Excellent price. Basically, the quality on here is cool. It does shoot full 1080, but I mostly got it because it's waterproof, so I really use this when I go on my cruises and take this with me to the beach. That's pretty much what this camera only get used for. Motorola backup battery. I really like this backup battery because for one, it's super slim. For two, it has the built-in micro USB, and then it also has a USB port, so if I want to charge something here and then get a port for charge my iPod or something like that, or anything else that has a USB that can stick here, I can charge that no problem. Then we have this boogie board, which I don't really use that much, but if I was like a student again, I would use it because like you can write on here and save your notes. And I don't know if you noticed when I was showing the iPad, if you notice this boogie board app I have here. Let me show you really quick. So I have this boogie board app. You can click on it, and for example, like this is a note that I wrote on here and saved it. And so you can write stuff on there and press save, and basically what it do is it send it to your iPad, and you have these notes that you now save. You can rename them, and then you can mail or send them to Evernote or whatever. But now you have all these notes, so that's why I said I would love this again if I was a student, to take notes on here and then have all digital files, or to be able to print these out from my own handwriting. It's just kind of hard to see this when you're in just like regular room setting. You have to have really good light. Like now I have a light like directly over this for this video, so I can see what I write very good. But in like regular room lighting, it's sometimes hard to see what you write just because of the way that technology works. And then lastly, you see my list of iPods I have here. Someone gave this one to me recently, but here are my iPods. Basically, this is the one I was using when I worked out. Haven't been working out lately, but this is the one I was using. This is my workout iPad. This one was sitting for a long time, but I always knew I would need it when I worked out. And this is the one I used for that. I scratched it somehow when I was at the gym. I don't know what I scratched it on, but this one is scratched. Got the iPad Nano. This is a 16 gig model, I think. And whenever I get my wireless headphones, Beats by Dre wireless headphones that I got from Walmart, due to their 1 hour guarantee, whenever that decides to come in, I'll probably start using this because I have like this little armband that this can fit in. And like I said, it'd be great with a Bluetooth headphone setup. So I'm waiting for them headphones to come in. So I'll probably start using this one at the gym more so. This one just, like I said, someone gave it to me. They didn't want it, and that was a class I like, the Nano, and I always like the little click wheel. This is my classic. Has all my music on there, and I think it has some files on there that I do not have backed up. So I hope it like never dies on me. Now my iPod Touch is the 2nd gen, super old model, 64 gig, which is one reason I won't throw it away. The other reason is because, or sell it, is because my mom gave it to me as a Christmas gift, and that was basically the last gift she bought me as a Christmas gift. That was when I was like 20, so that's pretty much the last big like gift that she ever bought for me. So I'll never sell it. Those are my iPods. Not seen in this video, my iMac 21-inch 0.5. I will never sell it. Love that computer. Basically, it's my most high power computer because it has the i5 with 2.5 gigahertz, 8 gigabytes memory. It still also has a CD slot, which I very much want. It's a 2011 model, but I'll probably never get rid of that one. Love it. Also, my laser printer, the Brother 2240 model. Great printer if you need a laser printer that does duplex printing. Excellent. The toner is like what, $30 on Amazon. You get like 1,600 pages, something ridiculous. Great printer, excellent quality. And then the other printer I love is HP Envy. I don't have it. I think it's the HP Envy 160. Basically, it has like this big touch screen. I wish I could show it to you, but it's like in my other room, and it's just more difficult to take that over there. But it's basically like the 6-inch screen. It has like these apps on there. The thing I really like about it is that you can put your USB in all the scans. Can scan to your USB in PDF. A lot of those printers used to do JPEG, but I need a PDF for business, and they'll scan directly for PDF. That was pretty much the main reason why I got that. I was looking for a printer that would allow me to scan to USB through PDF, and that HP Envy did that. Like I said, I believe it's the 160 model. Also have the big screen on the front. You know the one I'm talking about. Thank you for tuning in for this long video. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check back on the 1st, January 1st, and the 16th. Those videos are going to probably be covered by CES. So make sure you check back. Once again, thank you for tuning in.